The other day, I was checking out the Chicago City Council meeting, and just like Dalton in New York City, it gets crazy over there too. The embattled mayor, Brandon Johnson, he stands there, and he stands there just stoic, and he's just looking straight ahead. He's just taking it all head on because he knows he's powerless. He has no power in stopping the agenda that's coming through with the migrant crisis. But there's a lot of immigrants that came here legally that take umbrage with the migrants. And they're also voicing their displeasure and saying that they feel unsafe. And they're crying out to the mayor and these other elected officials where they're saying they feel like they've been failed by the people that put them in office. And they've been speaking loudly and proudly. So people think that a lot of these immigrants are on the side of the migrants, and you would be wrong. And here's proof of it. Check this out.
I'm a constituent of the Gage Park neighborhood. Since June, you decide to turn our park into a shelter. Our community is running lawless with illegal Venezuelans taking over our streets. We feel like prisoners in our own homes. As a taxpayer, we can't even enjoy our own park anymore. We are unable to take walks. Our amazing programs have been removed, especially for the disabled children that live near this park. We worked hard to improve our park, our neighborhood, but because of your irresponsible move, this is not impossible. Their illegal cars are parking on the residents' permit street. They are selling food without permit, causing traffic, yet no police reinforcement to help us. Guys are standing on the side of the building, doing God knows what, riding their bicycles around the neighborhood and looking to break into our houses, garages, and cars. Smoking weed and drinking in the park in broad daylight. You guys threw us to the wolves, and now we have to deal with the trouble you brought to our neighborhood. Unlike the illegals, as a legal immigrant myself, I know what I had to do to enter your country. I was required to do a background check, vaccinations, pay an expensive fee, bring a work letter from my previous job. Shall I go on? Some might be good, but the others are here to cause trouble. For example, my neighbors had their car broken into, packages stolen from their front yards, and someone pee on my property. Yes. I'm requesting Alderman Vasquez, Mayor Johnson, and those who made this decision to walk our neighborhood and see what's happening there. You want to look good by helping them, yet we taxpayers are left behind. We are now being put in harm's way because of the crimes they commit in our neighborhood. Your no-consequence policy tells them it's okay to commit these damn crimes. Now, what about the citizen and the legal immigrants who came before them? We're still waiting years for our own families to enter this country legally. It is frustrating to see our voice censored and feeling hopeless. Finally, we know the illegals are returning in the middle of the night, parking our residential permit area, acting if the shelter is a bed and breakfast. They need to leave now. We want our park back, and we demand that. It's not fair. You guys putting us in jeopardy. Kids cannot go outside. 2 weeks ago, someone was peeing in my yard. A lady grabbed a branch of a tree and took my package from Amazon. They break to cars. 6:53 a.m. I have videos to prove. Break into cars, and we cannot do nothing about it. Cops come, they see, and they go away.
This immigrant woman, she sounds just like the African Americans of Chicago in the way that she speaks. And I'll tell you a very, very short story. As a Black American, when you start to level yourself up and become the best version of yourself, and you start to move from like the ghettos part of the ghetto part of the Black community, and you start to actually get into maybe a better community of Black folks. Maybe you move out of the community. Maybe you go to college. Maybe you just make some money. You move out of desperation, destruction, and despair. And you start to see an influx of the people that you left start to come around you more and tear up everything and destroy their communities. Well, that's sort of like the immigrants. They fled certain countries to come into America, but those governments, when they start to push people into the U.S., they push the underbelly, the worst of the group, the worst of the class, right? And these immigrants are speaking out against that. Some of these migrants are coming through here. They're coming through here with all kinds of baggage. They coming through here with all kinds of mental health issues and all kinds of criminal records. And this is what these immigrants that came here legally are saying. So as a black American, I love my people. I love living in my community. But there's certain elements in my community that I don't want to live around, that I don't want to be around. I want to be far away from. Far away from. Whether they black or not, I don't want to be around them people because they don't want to change. And these are some of the conversations that you're hearing from the immigrants that came here legally against the migrants. Check this out.
To everyone, my name is Hanana Galan. I'm from Gage Park neighborhood. I'm here to say to all representatives, you are the one who put us in this issue, and we are the taxpayers. The taxpayers. We are the ones who put you there. So the less you can do is do your job and bring us our safety back. And I have the right to say it in Spanish as well, and I will. Estoy representando a la comunidad de Gage Park. Ustedes pusieron este problema en nuestras manos. Trajeron a los refugiados a nuestra comunidad. La mayoría de nosotros ni siquiera lo supo hasta que ya estaban ahí. Nosotros nos quejamos porque están haciendo de nuestras vidas un problema. Mis hijos no pueden salir al parque. Mis hijos ni siquiera pueden estar en mi propia yarda porque se quejan del olor de la marihuana. Algo que antes no pasaba. Tal vez nuestros vecindarios no eran los mejores para vivir, pero ustedes lo han hecho peor. Nosotros los pusimos en donde están y ustedes tienen la obligación de escucharnos. Y también se lo digo a los medios de comunicación. Si yo me quejo en español, espero que los medios de comunicación en español se hagan presente. Gracias, Univisión, por estar presente y por hacer nuestra voz que se escuche. We want our safety back. It's not fair for our kids. It's not fair for our elders. It's not safe for our special kids' needs. You take the field house from us. And our neighborhood is trash now. I dare you to walk by there at night. And I promise you, you will not like it and you will not be back there. Les pido a nuestros representantes hispanohablantes, están ahí por una razón, los pusimos por una razón, porque confiamos en ustedes y nos están fallando. The system is failing us. We are the ones who put you there, and we are the ones who can take you back the power.
The sad part of hearing that lady speak, who she's not a migrant, you know, she came here legally, and she spoke in English and in Spanish, and she was talking about her safety. And speaking about the Venezuelans that's coming here and making things very uncomfortable for her, right? I'll tell you, as a black American living in Philadelphia, there's a lot of Africans. You know, Philadelphia is ground zero, one of the blackest cities in America. And over the years, I've talked to a lot of Africans, and a lot of them, when I hear them speak, they don't want to go back to Africa. You know, they say very disparaging things about what went on in their country, and I'm not making this up. This is the truth. They say things, you know, they say a lot of things about their family and about not wanting to return. You know, they want to stay here. And as a black American growing up, your eyes and vision was dreams was to always visit the motherland, was to always visit Africa and to go see those places. But when I see the immigrants come here that came here legally, they don't want to come. They don't want to go back. You know, a lot of them are in favor of the migrants coming here. I've heard them speak about certain migrants that's being let through the border. So when I listen to them, you know what I mean, I gotta agree with, I gotta listen to them because they know the people more than we would, right? And I'm not saying that, and don't get this misconstrued, because I'm not saying that all Africans tell you not to go to Africa. That's not what I'm saying. Because there's a lot of Africans that too tell you to return to Africa. I'm just telling you in my experience as a black American in Philadelphia, being raised around a lot of Africans, I've also heard a lot of Africans talk about never returning to Africa and talking about the bad things that go on there. So there's a mixture of both. So don't misconstrue what I'm saying and leave stupid comments in my comment section, because I will erase it. But I want you to listen to what this border control guy said about these immigrants that's coming over. Check this out.
When somebody is arrested for crossing illegally, Are there any checks at all on these migrants? Do we have any idea who they are actually in the countries that they came from, what kind of lives they led in their home countries?
You know, their fingerprints are run against our records here in the United States, and not all countries share their records with us. So if we don't have access to their records, if they haven't committed any crimes here in the United States, then all we have to go by is what they say. And obviously they're not, if they have a criminal history, they're not going to tell us about it. And not enough is being done. Obviously, what happened to this young lady is tragic. Unfortunately, it will continue to happen until somebody gets serious about this.
Right. So we don't know. Someone comes across the border. We know there's a huge number of people, hundreds of thousands from Venezuela, where this man was from. We don't know that he might have been a killer, a convicted killer in Venezuela, and he just shows up at our border and says, I'm applying for asylum. We have no way of checking.
No way of checking. I mean, it's on the honor system, which is a shame when the first thing you do in our country is break the law, and then we're supposed to take your word for it. And everything else you say after that is the truth. It's ridiculous. It's silly. If these countries aren't willing to share their records with us, there's no way we should let these folks in the country.
Now, that man speaking is a Hispanic American, and you would think that he would be on the side of the migrants. But that guy is speaking on behalf of America and the safety of Americans. And he's saying that he came here legally. They should come here legally. He's disgruntled with the Democratic Party and their reform, whatever they have going on when it comes to allowing these immigrants to come into America. So I would tell you guys that it's bigger than Brandon Johnson or Eric Adams or any mayor of a city. It's bigger than them. It's above the governors. This is being done by the people at the top brass, that are allowing these people to come in for the corporate structure and also for voting power. So this has been being done. If you study the immigration crisis from the 70s throughout the 80s with Ronald Reagan and George Bush Sr., Bill Clinton and the crew in the 90s, this is nothing new. It goes from Republican to Democrat. So you can be mad at the Democrats today, but tomorrow the Republicans will be all for it. So it's all a playbook. It's all a game. But in this video, I was showing you the immigrants that come from these Latin American, Hispanic American countries. They're very disgruntled as well, and they're feeling unsafe. They sound just like the African Americans that's taking umbrage with the current brain trust of New York City and Chicago. It's the same thing. They're having the same problem, right? Here in Philadelphia, it's the same arguments. I'm hearing Africans say the same thing. I'm hearing Latinos say the same thing. I mean, because a lot of these immigrant groups are coming into the Latino community, and they're causing havoc. They're causing havoc within the Latino community. And the Latinos are very disgruntled, even here in Philadelphia, man. But I'm going to cut this video short here. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button. It don't cost you nothing. Subscribe to Street Media TV and help us get this message further out to the algorithm, man. Let me know what you guys think. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time, peace.